Hello everyone, welcome to the Purple Penny Weekly Coin News video. This is a video we hold at 12 o'clock Adelaide time every Monday. We've been doing it for about the last 15 or 16 months. We try to cover the latest going on in the coin market in Australia and look at a few bits and pieces around the world. So my wife and I, Catherine who is just over there working away, we run the Purple Penny, which is a small coin shop in the northern suburbs of Adelaide, which is the capital city of South Australia. Hopefully the video works a bit better this week. I've been playing with the camera settings this week. I must thank Paul, who has been giving me some help with colour balance settings and things like that. Paul Spink, who's a regular viewer here, has been providing me with a lot of advice, which has been super useful. It is a little bit frustrating to me that I can't do this in the quality that I would like to be able to, but this is the best I can do right now. So we'll just say a few hellos to people. Hello Paul, James, Lizzie, Mike, Ash, Greg, Gwen, Clay, Michael, good to see you in the shop last week, Michael, Ben, Ashley, Tanya, Gary, another Glenn, Tim, who's a somewhat shop regular, but is local here in Adelaide. Right, so last week was, of course, we had the mint release last Thursday. It was probably one of the quieter mint releases that we've had. We'll just pop up the slide here. Quieter mint releases that we've had. It was just the Steam Heritage 50-cent pieces, and then the annual Kangaroo 1 ounce silver issues and 1/10 gold issues. As expected, there was a lot of interest in the Steam folders. My commiserations to those of you who came into the Steam folders late and missed out on the first issues. It was difficult for us as dealers to give everyone what they wanted. In fact, we couldn't give everyone what they wanted, but we did our best to keep people who've been involved in the series since day one a coin. Just 1 second. The Steam 50-cent folders are getting about $200 to $250 on the secondary market, which is based on a release price of, with the folder, of 90 plus 20 is $110. So people who have built up those sets and are selling them now are getting anywhere between sort of $90 to $140 profit out of that, so not a bad little earner. I guess the thing is, with most of those releases, there's still 15,000 of them, so they're never going to be a particularly hard to find thing. So if you are after a whole set, perhaps give it a few weeks and you might find that the price settles back a little bit. Just a couple more hellos. Hello Michael and Alistair. James, who's watching from Kangaroo Island. James is a shop regular here. New dollar coin being released next month, James, so you should be interested in that. Another James, Alan and Andrew from the Gravy Train. Hello to all the Gravy Train watchers. Now on to the releases for next month. Now we of course talked about the Honeybee releases last month because the Mint announced those on the Berlin World Money Fair website. Oh, look at that tiny writing. Anyway, we've got the bicentenary of the Royal Agricultural Society coins being released. There's a silver proof $5 coin for $120, mintage of just 2022. There's a coloured version, a coloured aluminium bronze dollar coin celebrating the same thing, mintage of 40,000 of those. Then we've got the Honeybee releases, the usual mint roll and C mint mark, and the Mint has taken the opportunity of popping up the mintage by an extra 50% on those, so we're looking at 60,000 C mint marks and 15,000 rolls for that release. And then we've got the $30 1 kilo silver lunar year of the Ox release at the end there. I guess I won't go over what I went over last week, but if you didn't watch the video last week, I do encourage you to go and watch that on YouTube and listen to my thoughts about higher release figures for the cement marks and the rolls. I personally think it's a good thing. it means that collectors are much more likely to be able to get their hands on what they want for release price, which is only a good thing for everyone. Now, in the news online this week, there was a couple of things that popped up in the news. One was a extremely rare, and by extremely rare I genuinely mean rare. I don't mean red poppy on card rare or red dollar poppy from the newspaper set rare. I mean genuinely rare. Double aureus Roman coin was found in Hungary by archaeologists. So a double aureus is a gold coin. We'll just pop up a picture of that. There it is there. So it's a gold coin. It's about 6 or 7 grams. And the emperor that coin was issued under was Volusianus, who ruled with his father for just under 2 years, and they were both assassinated by soldiers, which is a bit unfortunate. And as such, the number of coins that were issued under their leadership was quite small, and because they reigned for such a short time, high denomination coins like this were very unusual. So it's a double aureus, which is a very unusual denomination. It's called a binio, and it's equivalent to 50 denarius. And if you're wondering what a denarius is, a legionary, and those of you who, like me, spent their youths reading Asterix and Obelix books would know what a legionary is. But if you didn't, a legionary is a Roman soldier that fought for the Roman Empire in a legion. A Roman legionary would get paid 2.5 sesterces a day, and there were 4 sesterces per denarius. So that means this double aureus here has the equivalent to 80 sesterces, which is about 20 days' pay for a soldier. So what's that in today's money? You're probably looking at a $3,000 coin there if it was issued in today's currency. Someone has lost a $3,000 coin. It's fallen out of their pocket or something like that. So quite a remarkable find. Michael is asking who owns the coin when it's found during an archaeological dig. Michael, I suspect that varies from country to country. In fact, I know it varies from country to country. So there are countries that have laws that dictate that anything over a certain age is taken over possession by the government. So Italy and Greece and various European countries like that. The British government allocates half of the value of an item to the person who found it and the landowner, but they have to actually turn it in. They're not allowed to just keep it. So yeah, it varies from country to country. In this case, the archaeological dig that found it has given it to a local museum in Hungary, and it's on display in a local museum. Quite a remarkable coin, and as I said at the beginning, a genuinely rare coin in the truest sense of the word. We'll just duck back to the news here. Let's have a quick look at the comments, see if anyone's got anything to say. Clay says it's only 1.5 times the weight of a normal aureus. Paul Spinks says denarius is the D of penny, and that is quite correct. The D of penny comes from the word denarius, and the LB of pound comes from libra, which is the Roman word for pound. So much of the pre-decimal abbreviations do come from Latin words. Hello, Dillis. Mike says there's no pockets in togas. I don't know what Romans wore under their togas, Mike. I might leave you to do that research for us and report back to us next week, please. And hello, Andy. Right, now, if you're in Australia, and most of our viewers are in Australia, you would know that there has been some pretty horrendous floods up in the northeastern part of Australia, Queensland and northern New South Wales. And the Penny Man, which is a coin and stamp and banknote dealer in Lismore, was flooded out, and according to some news reports has lost up to $5 million worth of stock, which is appalling and pretty unique situation for a coin and stamp dealer for a couple of reasons. One is it's almost impossible to get insurance at a reasonable rate for a coin and stamp dealer, and two, if you're in flooded areas like the one that the Pennyman was in, you just simply don't get insurance offered to you. So unfortunately, Mark Bailey, who was the co-owner of the Pennyman, looks like he's going to go out of business, which is tragic, and I would encourage anyone who has had dealings with Mark to reach out to him and support him in what must be a pretty awful time. Anyway, the goings on up there led to a few people last week asking me questions in the shop about how to store a collection and protect it from water damage. That's a real problem. Catherine and I have bought some water damaged collections before, and they're essentially useless. If the coins are in capsules, sometimes the coins are still okay, but if they're not in capsules, then often the coins are ruined. Packaging is certainly ruined, and it's not a good thing when water gets into a collection. So what are some simple things that you can do? One is that you can store things in these food grade polythene bags, which have got Ziplocs on them. They are they are watertight, and if you're going to store your items in those, then I would encourage you to press all the air out of them after you store the items in there, so that if water does get into collection, that they don't float around. And then I would suggest that you think about using some sort of we'll just get rid of this slide here, some sort of plastic container. Put those Ziploc bags in a plastic container, and this is a Systema food grade plastic container, and if you know this product, it actually has a gasket around the lid, which means that it's going to give you some sort of reasonable watertight protection for a period of time. And of course, if you pop these plastic bags into these plastic containers, you're going to get mechanical protection. If water does get into your collection and things are floating around and moving, you're going to get mechanical protection for what's in there. So there's two reasonably low cost, simple steps that you can take to protect your collection from water damage. Now, Catherine and I were in Bunnings on the weekend, because Catherine goes in there and steals all their cardboard boxes because she is addicted to cardboard boxes, and we saw this pretty remarkable thing in here, and it's a Tactics waterproof storage box, and I think this was about $17. You can see how big it is here. It's about 40 centimeters long, about 7 or 8 centimeters deep, and about 20 centimeters wide, and it's a polycarbonate box. So polycarbonate is an impact resistant plastic that they actually use to make bulletproof glass, and it's got a waterproof sealing gasket on it, and we were looking at it thinking, hey, that looks like it's about the right size for $2 rolls, and hey presto, if you take a look in here, you can fit 6 rolls in tubes in there perfectly, or if your rolls aren't in tubes, then you can probably fit 4 times by 9. You can get 36 rolls in there, not in tubes. So for $16, pretty remarkable piece of kit, and you can protect $2 rolls really nicely. 50-cent rolls fit in there, 20-cent rolls fit in there. It's actually a really nice looking thing, and I think it's something that we'll look at using for some of our own stuff. So there's just a few tips for that. Our thoughts go out to Mark and the co-owner of the Pennyman in Lismore, and everyone else up there who's been afflicted by the floods. It's pretty horrific, and there's not a lot that we can do from down here, but I just wish everyone best of luck, and that they come out of the other end of those floods safe and healthy. Now, Michael is asking, are PCGS graded coins watertight? No, they're not, Michael. They're not watertight. I should just say that safes generally are not watertight either. Even fireproof safes are not watertight either. So don't think that you are protected with a fireproof safe. So even if you were to get those small lock boxes that you get from Bunnings and places like that, which are fireproof, they're not necessarily watertight, so I don't think you're safe by just using those. James is saying, thank you, James. James is enjoying his purchase from last week. Alistair uses IP67 stackable storage tubs from Bunnings. Alistair, if you want to send me a link to that product on their website, I'll share that with our viewers next week, mate. Thank you for sharing that. Paul was saying store the tubs upside down. And Alison, it doesn't matter if you're late, we're still here and we're still talking. Right, last topic for today is this question that I got from, I think his name was Michael. I apologise, I can't remember the person's name, but I got this message through last night, and I've cut off the first part of the email, but this is the last part. When you receive your allocation from the RAM and then simply sell them on eBay at more than double the retail price, if as a RAM dealer this would appear to be double dipping, as you would certainly get some sort of margin on the retail selling side price, and then sell them on the secondary market, which would likely be against the RAM policy. Now this is addressing the problem where new release products, it's not a problem, it's something that happens, where RAM distributors get new release products and instantly pop them up on for sale at more than release price. So the first point here is it is not against the RAM distributor policy to do that. Okay, so it's not against the RAM's policy to do that. You are, as RAM dealers, we can effectively sell things at any price that we choose, even at a loss. Now, is it moral? I guess as time goes by, my opinions on this are changing a little bit. Catherine and I, as you know, do our best to support collectors. So as such, so with the train coins, we held everything back for collectors, and we don't sell things at higher than release price. But we've certainly had new release products come in a month after they were sold, and we've bought them back and we've sold them for more than release price, because we'd be crazy to sell things at release price if we can get more money for it. And I guess I can understand the motivations of RAM dealers who do sell things at higher release price. If let's say the honeybee roll comes out, the release price is $100. The flippers are out and about grabbing them up by the handful, popping them up onto eBay and getting $150, $175 for them. As a retail business like ours, we pay GST, we pay tax, we have overheads, we have all that sort of stuff. It would be, from a financial point of view, silly to not try and get more money out of those products, especially when you are competing against people who don't pay tax and don't pay GST and don't have any overheads. And so as such, I can understand why some dealers do sell things at a higher price on release day. At the end of the day, we've got a free market here, and if people are willing to pay a higher price, then so be it. It's not something that Catherine and I do, but I can understand why some coin dealers do it, and I certainly don't have any problems personally with them doing it. You as collectors, you may well do so, but just remember that collectors are the reasons why flippers make more money out of these things. So follow my advice and don't chase things straight away after they're released. Leave it a month, and the prices will come down more quickly. This just segues nicely into the Mint releasing more rolls and more C Mint marks, and I'm just going to paraphrase from something I read on Facebook last week, where there were people complaining about the increased mintage numbers, and the comment that I saw, which I really liked, was that you shouldn't be complaining about increased mintage numbers, because the only people who miss out really with increased mintage numbers are two people. They're the ones, A, that buy things just to flip them straight away, and two, they're the people who purchase collectible coins as investments. Now, I've said 1,000 times in these videos that these products are not investments, they are collectible products, and if you enjoy collecting them, then by all means do so, but I don't think that they are investment vehicles. So hopefully these higher mintages means that the release prices will be the release prices, that we don't see prices going up stupidly on the secondary market, and that dealers won't be trying to get more money out of them on release day. So that's that. It's a question I'll probably answer a couple times a year, and I'll probably answer again later in the year. I think it was Michael for asking that question. I suspect he's a new collector and probably doesn't quite understand how things work. Right, that's it for today. I must say thank you to Alex Birkin, who I don't think is here today, for telling me that when I cut the video off at the end that I'm actually cutting off my conclusion. So we've got a new slide today at the end that says the live video is finished, so that I can make sure that everyone sees everything. Right, Lana, you missed the info on the B coin. So Lana, the B coin is being released in two forms. There's a roll released with 25 coins in it with the RAM paper and the hologram, only available through RAM dealers. There's going to be 15,000 of those. The release price is $99.95, and there's going to be a C Mint Mark coin in the large format card within the coin in a capsule. There's going to be 60,000 of those, and the release price of those is $15. Right, everyone, enjoy the live video is finished slide, and I will see you next week. Everyone stay safe, especially those that are in places that are getting affected by the weather at the moment. Our thoughts are with you. Okay, see you everyone. Bye for now.